Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Kelly Kells. I'm super excited because we back at it again for Through Thick and Thin, the podcast where we talk about all things from the good, the bad, the uncomfortable, but definitely the necessary. And today we talking about something that makes me pretty happy. Relationships. We all have them, whether they're intimate, whether they're friendly, whether they're family. But today we're talking about, going 50-50 or whatever. Red flags on the masculinity. We're talking about all things great with somebody who is really a mental alchemist. That's right. Y'all have seen him all across your social medias. He is the king on YouTube when it comes to relationships and how we supposed to approach them. And he's here today. I mean, listen, got new material dropping. The therapist. I'm okay. I'm gonna let him explain it all. I want y'all to make some noise, but one and only J.R. Wisdom. What's up, J.R.? Yeah, I like when people clap for themselves because you're that guy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. For me, I've been in the streets. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm from the hood, right? I'm from the hood where I'm like the hood girl guy's dream. Keep it real, roundaway girl. Yeah. I'm cool. I'm smart. I'm beautiful. I'm thick, right? I'm the hood girl.
Yeah.
Right? But I met him and we wasn't on no hood terms. I met him and he had all the things that I said no to. Mm-hmm. But I got to know his personality and he allowed me to be me. And that's what drew me to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I said no to the gold teeth. He got permanent gold teeth. I said no to dreads. Yeah. He has locks. I said no to those things, but I fell in love with the character. Yeah. And my people around me were shocked. Like, what? Mm-hmm. Kelly, you? I'm like, yeah. Because before that, I had somebody who was a doctor.
Right.
And I did not like him. He was so clingy.
That's another thing. All those things I just described by the woman says that she wants, he's called clingy. When he does it, he's too nice.
It's too much. If it's too much, you got to have boundaries. How did you find your boundaries? How did you put your boundaries in perspective?
How did I find my boundaries?
With the women or like, yeah.
I don't even want to call it because you can only break your own heart. That's how I found out through trial and error, dealing with women, finding out. Because a woman won't tell you what you're doing wrong a lot of times, unless she really likes you, right? A woman will more likely ghost you and you'll never know what's going on. A lot of guys fall into that where they think everything's going well. And she's just like, or make up. Women typically, this is what women will typically say. Because you trying to text, or you'll double text, like, hey, what's up? I just got a lot going on right now. I'm confused and I got something going on. Meanwhile, she's like, this dude is whack. You in the group chat, she's just saying this. I mean, he does things, but I can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's with me going through that and realizing what was working and what wasn't working. Because when you learn these things, you replay all your past relationships you went through, and you're like, damn, I was over pursuing. I was doing this wrong. And then you realize the ones that you treat a certain way and you don't really give a F, they drawn to you. Now they calling you. Now they chasing after you. But when it's I like to call it the Tyrone effect. I came up with that like back in 2017. I learned that I called it the Tyrone effect, which is basically, I think life is just a group of people chasing after other people that don't want them. Damn. I think it's a circle of that's going on.
In marriages too? You think that in marriage, once you found your person?
Majority of marriages, over time, people become unhappy with each other. Every relationship is going to come to an end.
Is it safe to say that you should renew your marriage license like you renew your driver's license?
So.
I do too.
For sure.
I think after 7 years, you should you know what? I don't know if I want to.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a CDL. I ain't even trying to drive a regular car no more. I'm gonna get a truck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a box truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. But wait, before we go there, because honestly, having you on here made my perspective sometimes to be different. Even though I'm married, I'm still a realist.
For sure.
Like renewing the license is real. I've been married 14 years. The highs and the lows. At year 5, I would have renewed it. At year 6, I would not. At year 7, I would have. At year 10, I would have. At year 11, I'm like, nigga, right? Right? So it takes time. But you said breaking your own heart. What does that mean? You broke your own heart. Explain to me.
I think when you break your own heart, when you have expectations for someone, but you may be delusional, thinking that, because I fall in love quick. You know what I mean?
What's your sign?
I'm a Cap.
Okay,
Yeah.
Capricorn. Did my husband a
Yeah,
Capricorn?
for sure. We
I'm a
about our
Scorpio.
business, you know.
I'm a
Straight.
Scorpio.
You a Scorpio?
Yeah, but I got a Capricorn moon.
I know that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. See,
No, it was just you having expectations for a situation and me not knowing any better, me being ignorant to how things are, especially I was telling somebody this the other day, when I was going through my divorce, I was 31. I started dating this woman that was 38, 39. She already had been out in these fields, obviously. So when I'm sitting up here I started being clingy, but I started texting her and then I stopped and she was like, why'd you stop texting me? I'm like, I didn't want to feel like I'm doing too much. She was like, oh no, you're not doing too much. Then I started to get on some like simping stuff, you know, and texting. And she finally just told me, she was like, you're just too clingy. She was like, I can't. She's like, I can't deal with you. I was like, why? She was like, you don't need to ask why. And that was another lesson I learned from her. Because guys have they want to ask a woman why. Then when you ask a woman why, a woman doesn't really like answering questions from you. She doesn't want to answer to you about what it is that she's doing. You should just figure it out and go on about your
is
business.
that what you think?
I think women don't want to hurt your feelings.
Well, we don't. But men,
You know?
but obviously men don't want to hurt your feelings either. That's why they keep so much in. Women, we ask as many questions as you guys ask. Like, I'm married. I ask my husband all the time, like, what's on your mind? What's good? What do I need to change? Right? These are things I ask my husband.
Right.
Like, is there something I need to change? He's like, no, you good. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a good answer for me. Because I don't think no one's always 100% good. So I think that women experience that more than me. And I think that women overexpress. And it becomes like a nuance, almost like what we're like, hey, I need you to love me. I need you to.
But that's a feminine characteristic because she's an emotional being.
So men not even supposed to.
A man is supposed to be stoic. That doesn't mean he doesn't love his woman. A woman does not want a man that's emotional all the time. There's polarity in a relationship, even in a gay relationship. You have polarity. You have the masculine and the feminine. The woman is supposed to be the emotional one that's receiving. The man is not supposed to be walking around crying, moping, complaining, and stuff. You're supposed to figure it out.
True.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what makes you masculine. That's what makes the woman drawn to you. You start acting feminine and complaining, a woman will get turned off super quick. You know what I mean?
Know it.
So that's what I mean in terms of I think what you were asking. When it comes to that whole like emotional part. So you're supposed to figure it out. You are not really entitled to even having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? A woman is the feminine, the emotional one. Man is not supposed to be the emotional one. And I learned that along my journey as well. So
how do you handle that? What do you give? What advice would you give to a man that has a woman at home that needs to express something? Where's the outlet that he goes to? Like, what does he do?
You say, when the woman needs to
when a man needs to express like his bad day, his emotional distress, his frustration, his tension, his depression, his anxiety. You don't think that
you can talk to your woman about that, but I don't think a woman wants to hear you coming home complaining about. You can say, hey, this is my day, this, that, and the third, but you can't pour your heart into a woman. If she asks you, be like, hey, this is what I had going on, so on and so forth. But you don't sit there and you just pour your heart out and your emotions and stuff, because a woman can only take but so much. You know, she's an emotional creature. So with you trying to dump all that on her as a man, it's just like, you know, just like I used to talk to women about my ex-wife.
Yeah.
And I learned the hard way, you know, you don't do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be talking to me, but you're telling me about what you was going through with your ex-wife and stuff like that. Women don't want to hear that. And I had to learn that. You know what I mean?
But do men want to hear about the old relationship with the guy?
They don't, but I always say men give women a lot more leeway than vice versa.
Okay.
You can fart in front of a man on a first date. You can do all types of and but some ways, I'm not gonna say that's part of the P game, is you're supposed to disarm a woman where she can tell you, like, first dates I've gone on, women tell me all their business. But that's just because I'm just that type of dude.
Yeah,
I'm not prying, but I just know how to. I've done it so long, I know how to talk to women to the point where they just tell me all their business. You know what I'm saying? So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. But okay, so my thing is, with the wisdom that you have and everything, what do you believe about women today that you completely disagree with 10 years ago?
I thought all women were. I don't even know if I should say that.
I think you should say it.
I thought that all women were perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought all women were perfect. I thought that, that they I just thought they were perfect. You know what I mean? And then I learned that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely women are out here ruthless just like men are. You know what I mean? So that was a rude awakening for me because I viewed women a certain way up until that point. And I'm not one of those, like a lot of these guys on here are what I like to call he-man and woman haters, where they just nothing but negative stuff to say. I think women are incredible. Women are beautiful, but I just wish that women would be honest about how they actually feel. You know, if you don't like a guy, just don't entertain him. Don't, and that's, I think that's what frustrates a lot of men. If you don't like me, just say it. And for all the dudes who snap on women, y'all need to cut that out too.
Yeah.
If a woman turns you down, like,
Don't call her out her name.
yeah,
Don't be all rude. And it's really scary.
yeah,
No, it's really scary out here in these streets. Like somebody,
yeah,
you hear me? You like, I did, but I don't have to turn
Yeah.
around to a, I did not think you were talking to me.
Yeah.
If you me, I'm not going to consider that
For sure.
as a sign of trying to get my attention.
right,
I think something on your mouth. I think a
Yeah.
net flew on your mouth. I think you got hit with a fly because ain't no way that's how you get my attention.
yeah,
And it's funny that you even bring up about that some men, right? So in this field that you're, about the culture of dating, masculinity, women, and how we all are like coexisting,
mhm,
you have somebody like, and even though like rest his soul, Kevin Samuels,
right.
right? What was your perspective and how he approached women? Because that whole situation, that changed the game too, how he, kind of
Right.
exposed women's like vulnerabilities,
Yes.
their insecurities. What's your approach or opinion about that,
So
Kevin Samuels?
if you don't know, and a lot of people might not like this, I'm from the Kevin Samuels household.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from his, the group of people that emerged with Kevin Samuels. Like
Okay.
People know of Kevin, and I'm not saying this to brag. This is true. People know of me because of a lot of people. I'm not saying people in general know of me because of Kevin Samuels and vice versa.
Okay.
People didn't discover Kevin Samuels because I would do commentary on his videos. That's how I got my following grew based off of that. And they discovered Kevin through that, So I knew Kevin back when he was just doing colognes, at Lenox Square Mall, just doing videos, and he had a completely different approach. When he used to be in our live streams with O'Shea. O'Shea is my mentor. I don't know, O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Okay.
But O'Shea is who gave Kevin his first interview. And O'Shea is like, my mentor. So what I feel about Kevin, rest in peace. I probably wouldn't be sitting here with you right now if it wasn't for Kevin, just to be honest. But Kevin was able to package it, talking points that have been said for the better part of 10 years. He was able to package it properly to the masses, which is why he blew up. But these have been things that men have been saying for a long time. It just wasn't able to reach the women. And keep in mind, Kevin's following was 50-50. They think it's just men.
It was women.
It was 50% women, 50% men. So it wasn't like, and Kevin, most of Kevin, if not all of Kevin's coaching clients was women. So Kevin was coaching women, he charged, by the hour.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was just all men. So I think Kevin, sometimes what he did was shock and awe because he know that's what people wanted to see, like when he would say certain things. But I think the majority of men and a lot of women do agree because from a conservative Black male or Black family unit standpoint, that's what Kevin would be talking about.
Okay.
And people didn't like that because they didn't understand it because we're in more of a liberal space in the Black community.
Yeah, almost like don't say that in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that cuz
Yeah. So Kevin
It's cliche.
was, conservative Black values that he was speaking on in terms of that, so, but people didn't like how his delivery or how it felt like he was insulting people who actually called in by the way, to talk to him.
I
So
feel like your delivery is just calming.
he's
It is. It is. It's truly. I had an opportunity to view some of your content,
right.
and I'm like, wow, So it's just different that people can come from the same household,
Yeah.
family, and just the way it's delivered
Right.
can come out. But you do have some similarities in the approaches that he took.
Right.
Right. So that's cool
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is life dating for you on a date? Like, are you dating?
So I'm not currently dating right now.
Okay. Is this by choice?
It's by choice.
All
Yeah.
right. How long has it been?
How long has it been? It's probably been a few months. Yeah, a few months now.
Okay.
I got a lady now. So, yeah,
Okay.
I got a lady now. But yeah, it's been, as far as dating, dating is, I just did something called the pretender.
The
right?
what?
The pretender.
What is the pretender?
So the pretender, in my opinion, is, and I understand there's dudes out there. I don't date men, so I can't speak on what a man does with you on a date or whatever. I can only speak on from a male's perspective going on a date with a woman. I think that, again, it goes back to, we hear those words of intentionality. I'm serious. I'm dating with intention, which is another cliche and buzzword that you
It's a
see,
buzzword.
even on dating profiles, you see that I'm serious. I'm looking for my future person, my husband. But when you get on a date, you don't act like it. I think now dating, and I'm speaking for Atlanta, and I think other places as well, it's a humiliation ritual a lot of times for men. I'm not saying this to be negative. This is just what I've noticed. It's like, it's a one-way situation where the man is kind of like, it's like we're on a date right now.
Right.
You're the special guest, and you're sitting there with your lemon drop
Yeah.
in your head, and you're like, just like,
Entertain me.
action. You said
Oh,
it,
you're
you
not.
said it perfectly.
I am not
You
entertained.
said it perfectly before I even got it out. Entertain me. Action.
But do you think that society and the internet has changed the trajectory of that?
Absolutely.
Because I dated my man, and guess what? I was around there. We kicking it our first day. We eating wings and we popping. This is how I'm acting like I was with my homeboy, and that's why we fell in love with each other, because we instantly was ourselves. I wasn't trying to entertain him. He was trying to entertain me. I showed up as myself. He showed up as himself, and we was like, I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. You get what I'm saying? So I do right now, and this is something serious. So do you think that the people overvalue what they're trying to bring to the table, like the looks, the love, the money, or whatever? Do you think people they overvalue that?
I think there's a lot of people who are pretentious in that aspect. That what you said, in terms of bringing to the table, I can never get an answer. When I don't ask that question, but if you were to ask that question, like, okay, I'm JR Wisdom.
Yeah.
This is what I can do for you. You'll be protected. I'm gonna cherish you. I'm gonna sustain your lifestyle. I'm gonna love you for life. I can cook.
Okay, JR.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what all I can do.
I don't understand.
I can cook. You don't have to worry about having a place to stay. All that be taken care of. We going on trips, all this stuff like that. But when you flip it, I'm gonna listen to whatever issues you have. I'm not gonna be ready. I'm telling you this is lip service at the end of the day. But you can actually see as we date that that's something I can do. But if I flip it on you,
so I am going to love you. I'm going to understand you. I will help build you. But also, I'm going to make sure that, when you get home, food will be cooked, and I keep the house clean. And I'm going to be the reasoning, the voice of reasoning for you when things get cloudy. You know what I'm saying? It's lip service. And I'm going to be a freak in the sheets, right? Because that's important, right?
it's definitely important.
That's definitely important. And people think that it's not, but that is part of it. We're not going to argue about money because money comes to us.
Right.
We create opportunities. These are the things. Are you falling in love? I'm really pulling JR right now, y'all. I really got game. Oh, you think you got the wisdom? I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, though, I'm going to meet you where you are. right? I'm going to meet you where you are. I'm going to build. I'm not going to flake on you. Long as you show me, you really show me who you are. And it's not just a representative. Because a lot of times we meet people's representative and we don't meet the CEO until later. And you like, oh my God, I signed a year contract with this company, right? And I'll be in breach of contract in a sense, right? So yeah, I'm just going to love you where you are. And I hope that you can love me for who I am. I'm going to be honest with you because the last relationship, I wasn't that honest. And it didn't matter. If it hurts you, I hope that we can get through it. I'd rather tell you the truth and give you an option, right?
Why can't we talk about that on a first date, though?
What? The truths?
That what we just said. Why can't we?
We should.
Why can't we do that on a first date and just really you look at me and say, you know what, Jara, I don't think you're that cute. Just to be honest, I just came here because dude ain't picking up the phone right now, and I just needed to get out the house.
Damn. Now, why would they say that though?
Because if that's how you feel, why wouldn't you say that? I'm not saying that every woman feels that way,
All right.
but I do know that that does occur. You know what I mean?
I think that wouldn't be necessary if you're not trying to move forward. It was something that's really long term.
Right.
To tell somebody that actually would be cruel. So, but me showing up and honestly, women are the prize in certain instances because us showing up with our energy, right? Because that's what women transfer energy. Men are the protectors, and women are the energies of the protection. So we're showing up and giving you that energy. So I'm giving you a piece of my energy and time and giving you this softness. That's going to be cool. I don't have to tell you that you're ugly or I'm never going to call again.
Right.
But you may be handsome and I'm never going to call again because
that's true.
Because I don't like the energy exchange.
Like the energy. Yeah.
Right. So what if I get here and you are ugly, but everything that you say pours into my spirit. And now it don't matter about the looks because I got a couple of friends, they men are ugly. They not married to them. These people, these new friends, not my old friends. Hey, you are.
I don't think it matters though.
It don't matter at this point. It don't because guess what? The way they treat them, I'm like, that's my dog. Yeah. You feel me? And I think that's what it is. Women don't. It's very rare that a very, 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 very fine man is like super down to earth and cool. Anyways,
I'm super down to earth.
Who said you was very, 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 very fine? Who said?
I said I was.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm very down to earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, and I do too. And people don't think so. When people see people who look like us and act like us, they don't think that we'll be down to earth.
Right.
Because a lot of times, and you know for a fact, those people are so high in the sky, they don't live in reality.
I'm glad you said that, Kelly, because this is something I agree. And I just use the ugliness as an example. I'm not saying no. But when it comes to someone who is beautiful, right? Or perceived, or what's the term they use now? Conventionally attractive. Usually they don't have to work on anything because it's all given to them.
Yep.
Until that eventually fades with time, as it will for a lot of us. You know what I mean? And the same thing with sex. You know, sex is important. It's on the list. But as a guy told me, which made me reflect on it, it's at the bottom of the list because a lot of guys get into relationships strictly for sex and realize that this woman is attractive, she's sexy, but that's it. She's a dud.
The dud.
You know what I mean? So that, and you realize that with a lot of times when you do choose a woman specifically off looks, a lot of men realize what you just said in terms of, you know, they may not be a good person, may not be a nice person, maybe just a person that's like, well, I can replace you because there's thousands of you. There's not that many of me. So I know, I had a woman tell me one time, and I'm going to let it go. She said, I'm in high demand.
Girl.
That's what she told me.
That's what I'm saying. The internet is crazy. Say you in high demand.
On the first date.
But who though? Like who's the pickings? And if you're in high demand, why are you here now? Why are you not sifting through?
Doing me a favor.
You get what I'm saying? Doing you a favor. I'm in high demand. Okay, so even that, do you even go on a second date? Is this somebody you even pursue after that?
No.
No, there's nothing you can do after that.
No.
Oh my God.
I still think men allow a lot of things to slide for, you know, what Alan Roger Curry, rest in peace, used to say, for the possibility of sex. they will let a lot of things slide that a woman says and or does, and this is part of simping as well, because all of this stuff, a woman won't return your phone calls, won't do anything. You steady like, hey, when can I see you? I really trying to, I'll buy you anything. I'll take you out. I'll do this just for the possibility of sex,
Yeah.
Which is a wild thing in itself because it's only 5 seconds,
For how long?
I'm not talking about the sex. I'm talking about this, what we like to call post-nut clarity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a real thing for men in terms of once you reach that point, all that desire leaves you.
Because he came, you saw, you conquered.
Yeah. And that it literally leaves your body.
So once it leaves your body and that's over, how does a man look at a woman and say, after that desire has been, that scratch has been itched,
Right.
How does a man look at a woman and say, this is the person that I want to be with, or this person I want to move forward with?
That's what I'm saying. It has to be all those other things that you described.
Yeah.
Because you will look at her through that post-nut clarity, that different lens of, man, we're back to what it is. At the end of the day, this woman doesn't, and I'm just saying this, what a lot of guys who just are with women for sex. She doesn't ask me how I'm doing.
I can't even imagine that though.
Doesn't ask. You got guys like this. A woman don't ask them how you're doing. Don't see how their day is. Don't say, hey, I prepared this for you. Or, hey, I got an idea. They're having this right here. Would you like to go? Things like that. It's always the man who's trying to plan and come up with things to make this woman happy or to share with her. A lot of times where guys find themselves. So it's rare, I believe, that there is a 1% woman or something that I'm going to do here shortly called the unicorn, that is the woman that you're describing, that everything that you said here and told me on my first date, that is the unicorn, the 1% woman, in my opinion. 90%, which I just covered it. 90% of women are the pretenders.
Whoa, are you kidding me?
I'm
to
not
say
kidding you.
90%. So if 90, whoa, and hold up. So if 90% of the women are pretenders, what is the percentage of men that are pretenders? I'm trying to figure that out. If we're 90% pretending, what is the percentage of men that are pretending?
Now that's, again, I don't date men, so I don't.
But you know the antics of them.
I think that there are.
And you're saying 90% of the women you've dated, because you haven't dated
dated all women.
Right.
But I think that, as Kevin used to say, generalizations tend to be true. And we know this about everything in life. You can generalize a lot of things. You can stereotype and you can generalize. And when you can say, women are sassy, we're generalizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can say, okay, some women are sassy. Not all women are sassy. Or, for example, let me ask you this. Who do you think should approach? Do you think, and this is one of the craziest questions, but I'm still going to ask. In general, who do you think should approach who? Do you think men should approach women or women should approach men?
I think it should just be an attraction and somebody fulfill it. You make eye contact, whoever is bold enough to do it, that let the cards fall where they may. Because I am a Scorpio, I'm an aggressive woman. Right. And I can see somebody, I can make eye contact and they know right away. I want you, you're mine. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna play. And I before it'll be a, hey, how you doing? Or whatever. So it doesn't have to be the man got to approach the woman.
Right.
But who do you think should propose? The man or the woman?
But these are generalizations in our society, right?
Right.
It's generally the man approaches the woman.
Right.
And generally the man proposes to the woman. This isn't like a stereotype or anything. This is a generalization that tends to be true, right? So you can agree that it tends to be true. Yeah, that tends to be true. So when you have compiled enough, and I'm not saying all women, that's why I say, in my experience, 90% of women, and I break it down, kind of like, Tariq Nasheed has it in his book called The Mac, or The Art of Macking, where he breaks down a different type of women. And
how are they pretending? When you say they're pretenders, how are they pretending?
They're pretending by, again, going back to say, I'm intentional about dating. I'm talking to the women who really say that they're intentional about dating. You're not going to come across a woman that say, hey, I just want to F. I just want to get busy. I'm not saying that they don't exist. you're not going to see a woman or walk up to a woman and say, hey, I'm trying to get busy. 90% of women that you come across, I think you're going to say, I'm intentional and I'm looking for something serious.
After a certain age, right?
Right.
You are. And I think that should be a thing. But if we're talking about a 21-year-old, we're talking about a 21-year-old in college who's outside. And I'm talking about in
You think
college.
she'll still say that, though?
I think that if, this generation, and let's be very clear, we're moving into a generation that is so fluid.
Right.
So
Fluid is
open,
definitely the word.
fluid, open, and honest.
Yeah.
Like, he trying to get fucked.
Right.
That's how she'll say it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? These are the conversations. Like, I have young teenage daughters. I can't have that conversation, but you get what I'm saying? I'm still in the loop.
Yeah.
I'm in the loop. But I'm just like, I love being in the loop because I don't want to get left behind,
Right.
especially being married, especially being an entertainer. I can still stay like focused in my craft, but
Exactly.
I need to stay relevant.
Yeah.
So yes, I do think that this young generation of women are telling these men exactly what they want. But I also think that's the problem too, that these young generation of women have concluded that if a man can't do X, Y, and Z, that he may not be the one. They gone away from the blue collar workers. They don't think that somebody could work at FedEx and be the man of their dreams, which
Right.
is horrible. Because the man at FedEx is absolutely going to be the man of their dreams. He's going to come home from work. If you cook, he's going to eat. You're going to chill. It's a life you could build. And they think that everybody can go buy them a Go-Yard bag.
Yeah.
They really trying to find out where all the scammers,
Right,
niggas. They really are okay with the scammers. They are. So we living in a new world. But I do know that there is women that start off with that intentionality, but the man fall off. So just like you said, 90%, I can counter that and say
For sure.
90% of the brothers, and when I say brothers, that's all men included.
Right.
90% of men, they are fugazi with saying that they want something, and then a woman provides it, and then they go out and seek other things, knowing that that's not what you said you wanted that too. Because in honesty in the beginning, be honest in the beginning, say that, you know what, I believe in polygamy, or I don't want you to have someone else, but I do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Be honest, because a lot of women kind of like, all right, shit. More and more I think about it, I don't want you here 7 days a week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that is becoming a norm.
It's
too.
becoming a norm, bro. So what used to work does not work. And I think it's all situational. What we've learned right now is that you can't look at somebody else's life and try to mimic
There we
that.
go.
You would be a fool. You don't even know what it takes to even sustain, or how they got there, or how they even operate. So it's best to live your life and just be true to your partner. That's where we are. Just being true to your partner. I don't have to be true to you. I don't have to be true to this world. I have to be true to my partner. I don't have to explain nothing to the world. When did people start explaining so much to the world?
Explaining. I think there's and I'm gonna ask you this too.
Okay.
I think that there is, as you said earlier, I think social media did ruin it, and I think the amount of selection and choices have ruined it. And I was gonna ask you, do you like when your husband gives you a lot of choices, or would you like him to make the decision?
Oh,
for you?
I'm gonna keep it real. I love when my husband make the choice. I love when I don't have to think. That's when I got married for it.
Right.
I love that he does that.
Right.
But then it's also he give it to me like, baby, it's on you.
Right.
Like it's if you want to. But I love it. I think, and then my married friends, they love it when their husband plans stuff. We do love it.
Right.
We do. It makes it like easy. Go ahead and tell us we're going to get this food, because if you ask me what I want, I don't know.
I think it's the same thing with men.
Okay.
With women, that when it comes to men, because the world has become so much smaller, and a woman, and there's been experiments done with this. I don't know what it's like being a woman, but from what I've heard,
I love when you say that.
Yeah.
Let me be very clear, y'all.
Yeah.
They all right fucking around with
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But the amount of attention that a woman gets when you have, same thing with sales, with anything, you have scarcity, and we know scarcity creates value. But when there's a surplus, the value of something isn't the same. So I think it's the same thing with men.
Yeah.
There's so many men bombarding women on a daily basis with, what's up, 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 what's up. Women look at men through a different lens altogether, as opposed to, how men, most guys, and I learned this, and I don't know if you know this, most men are virgins. Most men have never had sex. You know what I mean? There's only a small percentage of men who actually have gotten
So
busy.
where is is this coming
This
from,
is
JR?
there's that.
You are shitting me with some shit right
I mean,
now.
same thing when they saying it's all types of. I wish I had my little book right here.
I wish you had your book too.
Saying, but there's an overwhelming amount of men who have never even kissed a woman. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
And
I believe it,
have
bro.
never been intimate with a woman. And it's difficult for a lot of men to even get to that point when a woman, like literally, no disrespect, you could walk out that door right now and have hard D within a few seconds.
Yeah, talking about spin that shit.
Just saying, hey, you want to go to the room right now?
Dang.
And dudes will go.
Absolutely. I'm 100% in agreement with you.
A man can't do that. So I think women, I'm not saying she loses respect for men, but she can't look at a man through a different lens when they're so primal. And it's like all these, especially if you're a super attractive woman, you got all these men that's trying to do things for you, trying to buy you things. And, you know, it's just waking up like that on a daily basis. You know, it will, I think it would confuse anyone, you know, with that.
So I have a brother, and this is so funny, and I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
I have a brother who said he likes dating ugly women in the hood because they treat him so good.
Women have told me that too, but go ahead.
Right. I shouldn't say ugly women in the hood. This is his verbiage, but just women that have less than him. Let's say that, because they like appreciate, they honor.
Corey Holcomb says that too. I don't know if you heard him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so we're like, all right. I asked my husband, like, what does that mean? He was like, because most women, when they have so much going on, they tend to forget about their man, to pump him up, to build him up, because he's constantly building her, but he's not being affirmed as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all men want is a little affirmation.
And guess what?
You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Make
like,
me feel special, baby.
What? That's what I do. I have to. Me and my friends, we say this all the time. Me and my married friends, we got a good group chat. It's just basically like, don't tell them no, because you tell them no for what? You tell them no, somebody else gonna tell them yes. That's very clear.
She will.
She will. Yeah. She'll pop it for a real one. And and number two, the reality is big him up. Big him up to the point where he like, man, stop it. Make them blush. You get what because they don't get it that often. You know, we expect them to do it. So, and it's funny that we talk about what we expect people to do. Do you think that work husband and work wife thing is acceptable when you have a real husband and wife?
I don't think it's acceptable, but one thing I do know about women, and Malcolm X, you know, rest in peace, he said this in his autobiography. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way, because he said it in a way that makes sense.
It's so funny, because whenever you say I'm about to take something the wrong way, I look at you like, wait, what is it about to be?
So Malcolm X, back when he was Detroit Red, when he was running the streets of Harlem, he said, women are vain. He said, I can prove to you how vain a woman is. He said, you can be on your stoop every day and a woman walk past you and you say, hey, and she'll toot her nose up and won't speak to you. Next day she come by, hey, and she'll nod at you. Next day she come by, hey, and then she'll say, hey. Next day she come by, hey, beautiful, and hey. Next day you ain't there. She'll walk by and say, where's Detroit Red at?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for, where you at? And he said he learned that, because, he used to be a P also.
Okay.
Malcolm X used to be a pimp.
Yeah.
So he said he learned that just by doing that, that was one of the things he learned about the vanity of women. So when it comes to work husbands and things like that, I think that a woman still appreciates to know, and my ex-wife told me this, she still wants to know that she's still desired.
Of course.
There's a saying that goes, women want to be wanted, men want to be loved.
And good.
I think, and I've learned this, women, as long as they know I'm desired, a man can bring you roses or whatever, you'll still take it. And if you're at your job or still flirting, just saying things like that, just to know that I'm still desired, because you may not be getting that at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's some type of affection. Women Well, most women, I think, because some women are just like, only time I want to get busy is in bed. I don't want to be kissed. I don't want to be touched.
I can't even imagine.
But there are women like that. I know that they don't want to be touched unless they're in bed, and that's it. But I do agree, from what I've learned and what I know of work wives and work husbands, that some women, they get that at work, and then whatever happens when she gets home, this guy fulfills that. Or even guys that come in to deliver packages. You know, as I was telling you the other day, you walk into a workplace where there's nothing but women, they light up when a man comes in.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say they're deprived for the day, but they may get a compliment or whatever from this man that hits different. You know, and I've noticed that.
Is it them looking at the potential in a man?
I just think it's just something about the polarity of just seeing a man and just interacting with him, you know, while he's there. And she may even have a dude. You know what I mean? But I think that
Is flirting cheating?
Women are to be adored.
But is flirting cheating? This is a real question. Is flirting cheating? Can a man literally be at the bar? A scenario, right? I'm giving you a scenario. Can a man be at the bar? His homeboys at the bar, they ordering drinks. A beautiful woman walk up and he said, "Hey, how you doing? Okay, you looking good today. What you drinking?" This all part of the flirt.
Yeah.
What you drinking? He buy her a drink and he, you know, they have small talk and they go about their day. Is that cheating?
I don't think that's cheating.
Okay.
You sitting down because you would buy a drink for your or for anybody else, wouldn't you? I would assume. You know.
This is a random woman that you don't know.
That you don't know.
This is a random woman. You are a married man. This is a random woman.
I don't think it's appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate, but I wouldn't say it's cheating.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And now, what's your intention behind it? Are you trying to get her number, or are you trying to?
But see, that's what makes it.
I can walk past you and say, "I love your hair today," and keep it moving.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, I do it all the time.
But some people may say that that's cheating because you said, or you like her dress or whatever. They may say something crazy like that because why are you complimenting a woman?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's just, you know, but some women even think you flirting with them just by compliment. You know what I mean?
Because women live in delusion.
Yeah. But people, everybody has, that's their reality. Whatever their delusion may be their reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So perception when it comes to that. But yeah, I think it's the intentionality behind if that dude saying like, "All right, so what you doing later?" You know what I mean? Like, you know, if he goes that far, but I don't think it's appropriate for a man to be buying a woman a drink when he's got a lady. You know what I mean?
I got a few questions for you.
Sure.
I got a few questions. I told you, I'm being married. A lot of times people like goals and things like that, but they don't understand like relationships is a lot of work.
It is.
It's an investment. It's a business, and you're forever evolving, right? The company's always switching powers. They are.
Right.
The CEOs is changing. The secretary is changing.
Yeah.
And it may sound crazy, but things are moving because you're growing. I'm not the same person that he met at 25. You feel me? I'm just not. So I always find it just like so heartwarming when I hear people can't talk about relationships. And I think it's crazy when sometimes people just really don't want to be open to listening to all the fucking possibilities of it's so many different things that could make something work and so many things that could ruin a relationship.
Yes.
But yeah, so I got a few questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. And then I want you to either answer with I'm just gonna give you a statement and you can tell me if it's facts, foolishness, or it depends. Now I'm gonna let you go back at the end and pick 3 of them that we can talk about, but we're gonna move. It's gonna be rapid fire, okay? So facts, foolishness, or it depends. All right. A man should always pay on the first date.
I'm gonna say it depends because if he asked her.
Okay.
If he asked her.
Okay. A woman should never propose to a man. This rapid. You gotta give it to me. You gotta give it to me.
Facts.
Facts.
Sorry. Yeah.
You shouldn't marry somebody without living with them first.
That's foolishness.
Okay.
You said you shouldn't marry somebody
you shouldn't marry somebody unless you live together first.
Facts. I'm sorry. Yeah. Facts.
That's facts. Okay. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Facts.
Your spouse should know your phone password.
That's foolishness.
A man needs to make more money than his woman.
Facts. It depends. I'm gonna say it depends on that one.
Okay.
It depends, sir.
Okay. Women should submit to their husbands.
Facts.
Foolishness. Men need respect more than love.
Facts.
Women need security more than love.
Facts.
You can be friends with your ex.
It depends.
Body counts matter.
It depends. Yeah.
Porn is cheating.
Foolishness.
Flirting is cheating.
It depends.
Going through somebody's phone is worse than what you might find.
Foolishness. Yeah.
50-50 relationships don't work.
Foolishness.
A relationship can survive infidelity.
Facts.
And everybody needs therapy before marriage.
Foolishness.
Okay. Is anyone you want to go back on here? I think I definitely want to talk about the marriage part and
Yeah.
therapy. I think everyone needs therapy, period.
Mm.
They
Coming
need
from a
therapy, period.
therapist, Yeah.
They need, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting there and saying,
Everyone needs
therapist.
therapy.
Yeah.
You need to be clean and a clean slate before you get over here, because hurt people. And not only are we have to deal with our trauma, your trauma, because guess what? That's going to come no matter what. But you need to have some type of way, coping skills to deal with. That's just my opinion.
But what if everything pause? If we wake up with grapes in our mouth every morning, everything is beautiful and lovely. We never argue. You still think we need therapy? We could fit each other perfectly, you know.
Yeah, that's a psychopath.
I don't think it is.
You know what I'm saying? You think it's a real
The
world that
lady-
exists that
the
you
lady, the woman I'm dating now, we never argued. Michael J. White and his wife, and this is what he said. But I heard him say the other day that they argued 3 times total. But before he said him and Julian never argued.
How long have you been with this relationship?
Off and on for 3 years.
And why is it off and on? Because we don't argue, we just go off.
Well, it's not really on my end, but it's just, I think it's because I'm sitting up here caught up like I can't talk.
Yeah.
No, it was some things that she told me that she had to deal with. You know what
That's
I mean?
fair.
That's what she was telling me. She is in therapy. You know what I mean?
Because therapy
So-
cleanses.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're hurt, if there's something that triggers you, or you're hurt by something, then yeah, you need therapy for sure.
You need therapy
Yeah.
for sure.
But I just feel like I know what you're getting into. What do you mean? We don't argue. We don't nothing. You got people, as you said, you got people be arguing the night before the wedding and fighting and still be getting married. You know, I know people who had sex with it, which this is pretty common. They screwing their ex the night before the marriage. So yeah,
I've heard it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Trust me, I've heard it all. You know I have.
yeah.
I'm like a sponge. People just love just pouring it all over.
Right,
I just suck it on in and get thicker and thicker. Through thick and thin.
Yeah.
It's the podcast. Okay, and this is one of the questions, and I know I can literally talk to you all day.
Right.
You have a very calming energy, and I don't know if you've gathered that through relationships and knowing how to cope with women. Is that something that you had to learn to have this calming energy?
I've heard it. Like people will point it out to me
Okay.
about my voice. I think it's my voice.
Yeah.
You know, they
It's
say
your mannerism. It's everything.
say
It's
I
your
sound
own.
like Lawrence Fishburne.
Come on,
So,
man.
yeah. But nah, it's because I used to be I used to get like when I first got divorced, well, when my ex-wife had left, I used to be like, I was never a violent person, but I used to be like, I would get upset.
Crash out.
Women used to ghost me. I never used to curse a woman out, but I used to get like upset, like, how you gonna ghost me and not tell? And then I'm just learning, like, bro, none of this is, you know, you gotta learn to be centered. A man, I came up with something to answer your question, and I'm not gonna try to make it long, but a man must be in control of 4 things, if I can remember, to be solid, masculine man. He has to be in control of his appetite, his sexual appetite, his money, and his emotions. I was trying to remember because I hadn't said it.
I love it.
But those 4 things is what a man must master, and if he can master those things without being triggered, getting upset, being emotional, flying off the handle, because a lot of things that men do, and I'm not saying this to be negative, that again, a woman is the emotional of the species. why are you conducting yourself in a
Like
way
a
that a
woman.
woman would be acting? That
No.
goes from putting your hands on a woman, screaming and yelling at a woman. How the P's say, especially Sugar Free?
Yeah.
Sugar Free would say, you beat a woman with your mind.
Oh,
You just walk off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, you don't sit there. I don't argue with anybody, because if I have to argue with you, I already stand firm in my convictions. So I'm not about to argue with a man or a woman. And I'm especially not about to argue with it as a man. Why am I arguing with a woman? Because that's not what men do. So when I heard Sugar Free say that, I was like, man, that's the same mindset. I'm like, yo, you beat a woman with your mind. You don't put your hands on a woman. You remove your presence.
Well,
Well,
that's perfect to this. I said this is our last question. This may be our last question. Who knows? What's something that's just so unforgivable that it'll end any relationship? Something that's unforgivable for you in your perspective.
Something that's unforgivable.
Yeah.
Man, I think walking in on it.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
You can't unsee it.
Yeah, you can talk. I think you can tolerate, hearing about it or her confessing to it, but walking in on it, I think that's like that's brutal.
it's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal. Walking in on it, I'm going to jail on it. You hear me? I'm not going to be able to recover from that.
I don't think I would. You wonder why a lot of dudes just walk off, but it is. I just look at it like this ain't the last woman. I'm not the first one that's gonna have her. And this isn't to reduce a woman in any way, shape,
And I ain't gonna be the
form.
last one.
Yeah,
but
I ain't
women,
the first one or
but
the last
listen,
one.
what you're saying is
Yeah.
interchangeable, bruh.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
let me be very clear. How you feel, women can really have that same standpoint. Like, we're in 2026.
Yeah.
That whole, like, and I know when I was asking you the rapid fire questions, I talk about being submissive. You can submit to your man, but everybody is pretty much doing the same thing. You work, I work.
Right.
You can cook, I cook. We clean. It should be a marriage of people just helping.
For sure.
What needs to be, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be I stand 10 toes down on one thing. We in this together if it's a relationship, because it's gonna be some days that I'm only 70%. And I mean, I'm 70% and you're only 30.
Right.
It's gonna be some days that you are 90 and I'm 10. That doesn't take away that I was once 75 the other day. You get what I'm saying? So it's important to I feel like, to have somebody that you don't have to necessarily submit to, but you submit to the relationship,
And
the program.
I'm gonna say something this, because I'm one of these people where I could be a lot bigger than what I am, but I have a mind of my own. So I don't say all the things that the guys want to hear, and I don't say all the things that the women want to hear.
Okay.
So for example, when you talk about that submission part, right? Men want to do 50-50 and still command the woman to submit to, in the sense of she's my subordinate. You can't go 50-50 with somebody and they're your subordinate. That's like a partnership in a business. We're partnering in this business. You're not my subordinate. We're partners. A lot of these guys don't like that term of a woman being a partner.
You're partners.
How can you say you owe me half of the rent, but you're not my partner, you're my subordinate? That's the illest, dumbest thing ever. Now, I do believe what you said in terms of submission. You submit to the relationship. This woman has needs, you submit to what her needs are, and vice versa. But I do feel like and I'm not saying this is all relationships, if a woman is the breadwinner, a lot of times there comes resentment with that, and or an abuse of power a lot of times. Not that men won't throw it up in the face, but men want to take care of women.
Yeah, it's a desire.
I mean? Yeah, I don't think it's natural for a woman to take care of a man. Hence why what we call the Fookies and the Ray Rays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tyrones.
The Tyrones. A woman, and I never understood why women do this, but I used to be in the credit business. 99% of my clients were women. And a lot of them were taking care of the men. I never understood the mindset of a woman that could take care of a man, because what ends up happening is that they both resent each other.
Absolutely.
Because she resents the fact that I had to take care of this man and I had to spend my money, and he resents the fact that he is a lot of times emasculated because she throws it up in his face. So he ends up cheating with the woman that makes him feel like a man.
Back to what I'm talking about. My brother said.
So they resent each other. So I never did understand why a woman would put herself in a situation other than power, the power of the leverage of having that I'm taking care of this guy. So
finish this sentence for me.
Sure.
A lot of women would have better relationships if they stopped with what?
if they stopped listening to what other women are doing or stopped listening to single women, excuse me. That's what I meant to say. If I can use both of those, if they stop listening, going back to what you said earlier, if you have a mind, and the worst thing you can tell a woman is that she doesn't have a mind of her own.
Ooh.
But a lot of these things are echo chamber. It's an echo chamber of repeating the same things that they hear other women are saying. So a lot of women would be further along if they didn't listen to single women.
Vice versa. A lot of men would have better relationships if they stopped.
If they stopped, damn, that's a good one. I'm glad you asked it. A lot of men would have better relationships if they stopped. Man, that's a good one. I never even thought about that.
Come on, you better think about it because you had that ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, a lot of
for the
men
women,
would
like,
have-
don't listen to them bitches. Don't listen.
if they I don't know. I might have to sit back and think about that
Yeah,
because
so-
I'm thinking of so much. A lot of men would have. I would say the same thing. If you sit back, you know, a man needs to. A lot of times, he needs to learn from the mistakes of other men. He would have a better relationship. I think if he learned what it is that he actually wanted in a woman.
Mhm.
If you know for sure what you want in a woman and what you know what you're going to tolerate in those boundaries, I
So
guess
stop being flaky because you have to stop doing something. So a man would have a better relationship if he stopped doing what? Stop projecting, stop running, stop neglecting the relationship that he said he wanted. Because he has to stop doing something, these men, for their relationship to be better. Stop cheating, stop lying, stop.
I think a man needs to stop lying and be honest with himself.
Yeah.
If anything, I think if a man, you free yourself of a lot of the BS when you stop lying. I think if you stop lying to women, there we go. I think if you stop lying to women and you're truthful and you live in your truth, I think you will attract the relationship that you want.
Them gonna be some good reels. Them gonna be some good reels.
I think that's bottom because I think that hit it on the head because I think, there's a thing that they say about black men, right? And there's a lot of people have said this, that a lot of black men are trapped within the confines of masculinity in terms of, and I've heard a gay man say this, and I'm only throwing this out here because he said that black men who date white women are more free than a black man who dates black women that's what makes them similar to gay men because a gay man is free, allegedly. So that's what they say, that the similarities between a black man who only dates white women and gay men are similar in that fashion because they're free. And I hate to use that, but that was something that came to mind. I think if you're free and you're honest and you're not trapped within the confines of, I'm not saying masculinity, but in terms of what you think society says you have to say or be in terms of to get this woman to sleep with you or whatever have you, or whatever type of relationship you will attract, just like your relationship with your husband. It sounded like he was straight up honest. And this is who I am at the end of the day. This is what I got.
This what's up.
I want to be with you. What's up? You know what I'm saying? This is my financial situation. I want to buy you diamonds as soon as they increase my pay.
Yeah.
How Chico the Bar say?
Real, and it's funny that you even brought that up. When he proposed to me, because he proposed to me after 14 months. When he proposed to me, I had a nice little I had a ring. It was nice for me, right?
Right.
It was nice for me. This is the man I love. He could have gave me a ring pop.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I love that man like that. It wasn't about that. We lived in our own house. We chilling. We kicking it. He proposed immediately, and
what was that?
because that's just to let you know, like, I'm that girl.
Yeah.
I'm in high demand.
Yeah, in high demand.
I'm in high demand. I was in high demand. I'm joking. But he proposed immediately with that same day of my engagement with my family there, my friends there. Former friend of mine said, "Oh, girl, that ring's so nice. Maybe one day he'll get you a bigger one." Right? So crazy. Talk about the diamonds and him wanting to buy more. And I never thought nothing of it. I did look at her totally different after that because I was like, what? Wow, you're trying to plant a seed of insecurity, insufficient, all these doubts, all these in my mind. Meanwhile, you over there not married, whatever.
Goes back to what I said earlier.
You know, so right. It counters what your women need to stop listening to other women. So I didn't do that. And of course, on our 9th year anniversary, we renewed our vows. On our 10th year anniversary, I got a new ring. But it took me 10 years to get a new ring. It is much bigger than the last one, but I could have absolutely kept my last one. It fit my hands perfect. I have pretty small hands. That was perfect. But when you don't care about those things, when love conquers all, because love, money don't matter. Me and my friends talk about this all the time. First of all, let me be very clear, ladies. The more money that man has, to me, that's the more power they got over you if you ain't got nothing. Let me be very clear. I just had the conversation with my 26-year-old sister, me and my sister on the way here. So it's important to have your own. So when you come to the table, the kitchen table, the dining table, the coffee table, y'all just lay it out there and scatter together. Y'all know it was both. It was contributions from both.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Let's just put it all together. I don't know if you had 10 million and I had 100,000, but let's put it together. You know that my money is in there. So now there's no power nor exchange of power because that becomes a big issue. And this is the last question. I said that before, but I mean it now. This is the last question. Once a man has been in a relationship and his masculinity has been questioned, challenged by a woman, is there a way to go back to, a calm setting, loving setting if a woman changes her tone and temperature with the man?
I don't know once a woman views you in a certain way, I don't know if you can ever get it back. I mean, I'm not a woman, but I feel like once she views you as weak or feminine or whatever, I think there would have to be a period of separation and maybe come back. But if just like a woman see you get your ass whooped, you know what I'm saying? And and you commanding all this, it's not gonna be the same. Once she views you as weak or someone less than, or as you said, the masculinity has been challenged, I don't think it can come back. It's the same thing with how you asked me about cheating earlier, and it's infidelity and things like that. I think you can overcome it, but I think both of you guys are pretending afterwards.
The pretenders.
Yeah, so you're pretending that this didn't happen. I forgive you. But I mean, people do it.
My homeboys say this all the time. And look, I always refer back to my homeboy because I talk to this dude about everything. He's good friends with me and my husband. And like, these are conversations we have. He's like, once a man cheat, and if a woman take him back, he shouldn't even go back to that woman.
Right.
Because, I mean, she's never going to view you the same.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the same.
It's not. I don't think it is. They said that to me with my ex-wife. They was like, even if she came back to you, you'd probably run that woman crazy.
Yeah.
And I think they were right. I'm saying this because I'm actually, my next film is based upon that situation where that happened, where basically the character is telling him, even if this woman comes back to you, you still would have to pretend and it would still be eating you alive. I think it's something about men knowing that another man has tampered with their woman or whatever, and imagining, because we have a vivid imagination, especially when we are thinking about another man being with our woman. And that's you just replaying that even when you're with her.
Imagine women imagination. Man, what? Oh man, you think y'all's vivid, and y'all gotta definitely scale back because y'all ain't gonna go that crazy.
But men are getting conquered though.
Yeah.
Men not getting conquered. Like women, like
we're looking
at it like this dude is
dominating over there.
He's desecrating you.
Desecrating is crazy.
He's desecrating you. Everything, all the stuff that I've done to you, I know he's gotta be doing, because some women will do stuff with other men that they won't do with you. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine, desecrating. Like if I'm doing this to you, I know this dude, and then it's emotion. We know as men,
it's emotional.
We know it's emotion involved. Again, a dude, and I'm not excusing a man. A man should not. I had to tell a woman this the other day. all cheating boils down to is insecurity at the end of the day. But with a man, all he's trying to do is get this thing off of him. You know, it's literally the feeling he had for this woman that he was cheating on you with was just animalistic at the end of the day.
Animalistic.
Yeah, it was just to get that off of him, and he literally forgot about her once that's done. You know, he just wants to leave. So yeah, it's definitely brutal. You know.
I think when a man and a woman are together, it can be extremely beautiful. We know that, but we know it can be extremely toxic and brutal
Mm-hmm.
like in a blink of an eye. I think that you traded on the culture of relationships and masculinity, women roles, and things like that. Just you even in that arena, it speaks volumes of what you are willing to like take from the world, because it's such a touchy subject. And I know right now people are going to be screaming at their phone that some of the stuff that we say.
Of course.
Good, because it should spark conversation. And that's what Through Thick and Thin is. Like, we want to make sure that, you know, you go through it, but you come out thick at the end of it all. You should build some grit. Something should change through our processes. And if you can leave the people with something, and I don't want to go, let me be very clear. I can sit here and do this with you all day. It didn't even feel like an hour, and it's been an hour, right? It did not feel like an hour. That's crazy. What would you like to leave with the people? What would you like to leave with the culture, the women, the men, just the industry right now, the temperature of the world? What's some advice, some words of wisdom that you want to leave with the people? And coming from you, like the JR wisdom, the wisdom part of you.
I got a few quotes for everybody.
Okay.
One of the biggest things I learned about love and relationships, and I put this in my in the therapist series that I was telling you about that's coming. It's a mantra by Thich Nhat Hanh. And it's, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. And that goes for both men and women, because I feel like that's the only way, not the only way, but I think that's one of the strongest ways that relationships work, is that nobody should feel like they're a prisoner and that they should feel free at all times. Another one is from one of the great Sahaba of the Prophet Muhammad, Umar ibn al-Khattab. May God be pleased with him. He said that when you are with your significant other, you should be like children. But when it's time for business, you should be a man.
Grow
and
up.
I think if we always remain like children, you know, that
fun, nature is so beautiful. Yeah. Think about your high school love and the middle school love. The best.
Yep. Instead of so serious all the time and things like that. You know, going back to, you know, I think of Peter Pan and Neverland, when you never get old, and was it Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh when he goes into this enchanted forest, you know what I mean? It's things like that. So being aware of that. Always know you must come to your own rescue.
Oh.
You can't wait on anybody.
We're not waiting on Superman.
Yeah, you can't wait on nobody. Don't be afraid to, you know, speak to people. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Being nice doesn't cost you anything.
I love it.
And it's nothing hard. I think we all should strive to be a beautiful person. You know what I mean? It is, as bad as things seem out here, you know, if you wake up, I always tell people when they ask me how I'm doing, I always say it's the greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned with the whole alchemy thing. You know, I just came up with that one day. Not to say that ain't nobody's ever said it before, but anytime anybody who meets me, they know when they ask JR what he's going to say. And I had one woman tell me one time, why do you always say that? Why do you always say that? And this is a woman I was calling myself dating one time. I said, does it disturb your spirit?
Because get me away from you. Yeah. Get away.
Yeah. I'm like, what's wrong with me saying it's the greatest day of my life? So I say that as a reminder to myself and other people.
Absolutely.
So they can think about that. But
speaking of the greatest day of your life and everything that you got going on, let us know what you got going on, what new projects you got going on, and where they can follow you, because they need to follow you. They need to be locked in. You are absolutely killing it on in the content arena, and people need to know. Like, it's so many more people that need to know.
Appreciate you. Well, you can find me. You can if you Google JR Wisdom, it'll pop up.
Google them.
Yeah, it's Google. You can Google it. I'm on Facebook. Type in JR Wisdom. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is primarily where I'm at. I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm also a film producer and I'm a writer. The series we were talking about earlier that is in post-production, it should be done as far as the editing portion this week. It's called The Therapist, and The Therapist is about this guy who I play named Ross. He's a therapist, but he's dealing with multiple women. It's based upon my, situations from my personal life. But he gives good advice to people, but he doesn't take his own advice.
Sounds like the world we live in.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sounds like the world we live in.
So yeah, it'll be available on. Well, I'm putting it out on YouTube and Facebook first, but it will be available on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and Tubi when it comes out.
Congratulations, man! That's big, and just being able to take what you know to be true and make it into something that people can actually lean into. A piece of art is beautiful, man. Absolutely. I'm super grateful. I had 101 things that I wrote to ask you, but I think that this was obviously the best way, the most genuine way to have a conversation. And I know a lot of people will find help in this. And I pray that you guys go and follow the page and stay locked in. And I definitely want to say, like, just, you truly like created the energy that people can know with the red flags, the 50-50s, the this and that. But there's so much more to grow from. And I feel that you have the energy that people can grow and you can learn from them as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited. He's one of the ones. Sometimes you meet people and they're, they have like, not him. Mr. JR Wisdom, drop the wisdom, drop the knowledge. We locked in, right? We doing this. This is Through Thick and Thin, the podcast. Different scenario, different setting, same Kelly Kell, same energy, same thought process. We're building and we're creating. Y'all follow him. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. All right. And two, let me know what you guys want me to, like, what y'all want to talk about? What we podcasting about? Who y'all want to see on here? Let me know. Shout out to all the vendors. Shout out to all our sponsors. Thank you. We're looking for more sponsors. Is it you? What camera am I looking at? Okay. Do you want to be a sponsor? We're looking for the sponsors. Make sure you all tap in. Through Thick and Thin, the podcast. It's another one. We love y'all. We out. Bye.